The reigning world champion is about to share his thoughts behind one of his craziest games. But first, who is this person? Rayman has recently been taking the community by storm. There are 3 ranked modalities on Colonist: Base, 1v1, and Cities and Knights. And among hundreds of thousands of players, Rayman finished last season being ranked number 1 in both 1v1 and Cities and Knights. Basically, this man knows a thing or two about Colonist, and we're about to get a peek into his brain. If you like Colonist or Catan, you're definitely going to enjoy this. Okay, so we're here over the board with Rayman.
What's going on?
And to put a little bit of context, before this, you'd played like a bunch of rounds of the tournament, right? And it was sudden death. How many rounds were there?
So there was the group stage, which was you played everybody in your group. So I was here, so I played 5 rounds or 4 rounds in the group stage, and then there was the playoffs where you had to get by, I think it was 6 rounds.
All right, and every person you played 3 games, right?
Yeah, so every series until the final, which was the final was 5 games.
Awesome. So then the final was 5 games, and you each won 2 games at this point, right? So whoever won this last one won everything.
Yeah.
One of the things you did now that there's replay is that you went back and you watched some of your opponents before playing them to get like sort of insights into their tendencies, etc. No?
Yeah. I had to play a Pizza Penguin, and I hadn't played him before in 1v1 at all, so I had to like look at some of his replays. The first thing we noticed is like it's a very low ore board. Like there's only 2 3 tiles and a 2, and ore is probably, along with wheat, like the most important resource in 1v1, so that adds like a different dynamic to this game.
You always say, I know this because you've told me before, and it's actually helped my games in 1v1. You always say that it's a good idea to have 2 ore tiles and 2 wheat tiles, right? That's like eventually in your setup.
Yeah, for sure. I think one way to lose games is to like come out of friendly robber, like build your settlement or build your city, but still only have 1 ore or 1 wheat tile, and then you're very blockable. So usually your expansion plan should involve getting on the second one. Yeah, so I think he was first, and here there isn't like a giant ore spot, so he went with 693. Yeah, which makes a lot of sense because he thinks I'm gonna find brick and wheat together either here or here, so it's a good pick by him. And then for me, I can't really stop him from doing that because I can't take a woodless and set up like this with so much brick, so I went with one of the spots. And then I like this 6-3-11 down idea because it's like ore is so rare that even starting with 1 is good. Like you want to start saving for your city, and then the starting road is nice as well because he can't like cut me off to one of these spots. So
interesting.
Sometimes when you know what you like, you just take it and then give them less time to think.
But yeah, this is super interesting that already we haven't even placed, and there's already 2 strategies that I think 99% of people don't think about, like using replay to look at other people's games and then just not taking as little time as possible to give them little time to think when you have like a more obvious choice. Is super interesting.
Yeah, now it's kind of like a race for the middle. Like I said before, we can't really expand to a secondary ore tile on this board because there's so little ore, but I'm hoping to get on this 5 wheat to at least be unblockable on the wheat, because I really would like to get 11-4-5 and kind of take away one of his spots. And he's rolled the first 2 7s, so if I could settle here, I definitely would. But yeah, here's the tough decision because we have 9 cards. We're waiting on a 10, and we could roll a card and then be over and 7 out, and that would end the game. So I think here,
for sure,
like the first tough decision: do I take the risk or not? But I think the 6 actually gave him the settle because if I know 6 didn't roll for me yet until that point, so he didn't have any sheep, but now he does. So I think if we're tracking, he might just have it here. I think he does. So it's really not a tough decision. We got to go the other way.
Right.
I thought with having a starting road and good brick and good wood and just needing like a 5 and a 10, we had a good shot to win. But obviously he also has a great shot. He needs 2 9s and an 8 and a 6. So now we do roll our 10, and he settles. And I think, now it's my kind of decision of whether to settle or not. And I think usually the 5 being blocked means that this settlement isn't giving me a ton. It's just like one more wood on a 6, one sheep on a 12. And so there is a case for holding, but I think, like I said before, it's like he rolled the first 2 7s, so we're pretty safe for a little bit. So I decided to settle.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna ask, if you think there's a case to be made to save up for the city there.
Yeah, there definitely is a case for waiting a little bit, but also that would require hitting another 3 and another 10, which is, probably,
yeah, that's true.
Probably
that's
my
true.
hand would be full before that. So
yeah, you don't have very good ore.
yeah, so next priority, like you said, though, it is to city if we can, and settle 843, which also increases the ore.
Yeah, and you had pretty, like, that 843 is a pretty solid expansion spot to it, right, in terms of production. I mean, they're both 10.
Yeah, no, but it's a great spot because now I think the 3, he can block the 3, and it's probably a good block, but it's not that impactful. It only rolls a little bit, and if I get on a port with this much production, I could manufacture ore, porting wood or porting brick if you get up to the 3 to 1. So I think doubling the 3 is nice. So I buy this knight, and I think, okay, now it's a 1 and 4. He steals the rare ore, but he doesn't choose to play his knight here, which I think is the right call by him. I mean, he's a really good player, and he's got a lot of wheat in hand already, so unblocking the wheat helps me more than him, and also he doesn't want to waste his knight. So yeah, now it's about who gets their city up and starts, snowballing production. We hit a 10, which is nice. Obviously good for him too. And then I do finally roll a 7, so then I block the 9. So 9 is 3 cards, so I think you could probably 4 to 1 wood or build to the 8-3. I don't want to block the 3, like I said, quite yet.
What's the thinking behind not blocking the 3 again? Because you're both waiting, racing for that city in a way, no?
Yeah, so to me it's kind of I think I'm a little bit ahead, not a lot, but I have a doubled 3, I'm closer to the city than him, and I think if 3 rolls, that's a good thing. That means that I benefit more. I think I should drop the road, and yeah, we head over. So I don't commit 2 because that leaves the Wheaton ore 2 exposed, but 1 to lower the hand size, that makes sense.
So where are you trying to expand now? Is it to the 10-9-2 or to the Woodport?
I think probably both. I mean, we want a city first, but I think after we city, if we city a wood spot, then yeah, probably at this point getting on a port is better. The 10-9-2 is it's probably too much wood at that point until we get on the port. So
right, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so we hit a 12, which is nice. 6, and then yeah, again, now we're gonna be over if we don't commit a road. So do the safe road. He hasn't been hitting very many rolls. I think he's still got 2 wheat and a brick.
I mean, tension has to be pretty high here because the 3 hasn't rolled. We did get those 2 early 3s, but it hasn't rolled in a while, right? So it's kind of bound to come soon.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just praying he doesn't roll the 7 and block it before it does. If we can hit a couple unblocked 3s, I think we can really start to snowball the cities in production. Yeah, still no 3. At this point, I can road settle 10-9-2 or the 5-2, and I think, this is an ore with the 2 wood in hand, so I think we settle the... And the point is, even getting on the 2 is nice. If that hits, that's a big boost as well. 1 more pip of ore.
Yeah.
It's not too...
Right.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. No, we're just praying not to 7 out here. This is a huge moment, because he's still pretty far from the city. He needs... to get on a port, or he needs 2 3s or a 9 and a 3. So we dodge the 7, and I have this huge hand, which is the first big decision of the game. So I think it's we could city citying 8-4-3, which I have a lot of Discord friends that talk 1v1 strategies and stuff. And Swood, who's I think super good at 1v1, he was kind of telling me maybe we're kind of over investing in the 3 here. Now, if one open 3 rolls, I'm crushing him because I get 3 ores to his 1. But on the other hand, I'm giving him a chance to catch up. Full Year of Plenty, which to me in 1v1 it's like it's okay, but you don't love to see it because it's like you spent an ore, wheat, and a sheep to get a Year of Plenty. Now you can make 2 ore out of it. It's like not that great.
Yeah.
But still better than a VP. I think I know he doesn't have a knight. I know he rolled the last 7, so I desperately want to buy a knight here to unblock this.
Yeah, that 3 has to become unblocked as quick as possible.
Yeah. And I think using it for ores, like that's 99% chance that's what I use it on later regardless, so might as well do it now.
Yeah.
But sadly we get a VP.
Oh no, the VP.
Yeah.
Man, this is like kill your momentum. Yeah, okay.
If he rolls a 7 and blocks the 3, I don't have a knight right now. And then, we hit our 4, which is good. For him, he builds a city on 693. Yeah, I like that for him. Now he's got like the 6 doubled, the 8 doubled, the 3 tripled. He makes tons of wheat, so he's got the road builder. He's just in a terrific spot right now. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty down. I'm about to lose the final.
The World Series final, yeah. When you were like ahead a second ago.
But I shouldn't like give up because I think you can always pull a mono, and I could like mono wood as well. Like he wants to take this 10-9-2 spot. He would get 5 wood on a 9. So you can imagine if he's got like a few wood in hand and then he hits a 9, I could mono like 8 wood or something crazy.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Yeah, definitely like a path back. But yeah, he takes the spot with the road builder. And I don't know what his devs are. They could be knights. I assume they're knights. Yeah, so we hit our 5. That's what we want. And I buy. Yeah, I do pull the mono. There you go.
Nice.
So we got options now. We've got, if he hits a 3, we could take his 3 ores. If he hits a 9, so we're back in it. And he also buys a dev, which is, yeah, this is around when you want to be trying to lock up army. Like if he had a city in hand, I think cities, like, they're good in that they increase production, but it takes a while for them to pay back. Like you need multiple rolls to get the cards back, and we're at the point where we're each trying to lock up army and keep the other pinned down. So I think, yeah, it's just dev cards for a while here. So again, we just wanted to stop him buying devs with the 6 and keep our mono rolls open. Yeah. But he also had a knight, and he keeps blocking my 3. And at this point, he's outproducing us, right? Like, he's got 1 more 3-hex expansion, and I don't make that much wheat. So even if the mono comes up, I might not have enough wheat to, like, make good use of it. Like, if a 3 hits or something, or a 9. That's another reason to city 6-5-12 instead of 8-4-3. Set up the connect. We hit our 5, which is... very happy about that. Like, it's our best roll, and now we have maybe a mono coming up.
Another 3 where you were blocked. Wow, that you got so many of those.
Yeah, and he's smart, so he's like, okay, now the 3 just rolled, so there's balanced dice. It's less likely to roll, so he unblocks it now, which takes our wheat. So yeah, at this point,
that steals the army too.
I mean, I'm pretty depressed. He's got 12 points, 2 roads from connecting for an even longer road. He's got non-knights, right? Yeah, he's at 14 right now. So he's 1 point off winning.
This is wild that there's still so much game left. Like, what is even going to happen?
Yeah, so I don't know if it makes sense, but in the moment it did, which is like, I'm still losing. Like, he's got 2 cities, he's got way more points, and I need some upside. And so that upside is, we probably shouldn't be porting. We should be hoping to roll into exactly what we need. So I decide to drop a road.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And hope he can't get it, or hope he can't pop a dev here, which is like, okay, he needs a 3 or an 8 for, or I guess he could 4-1 wheat as well if he hits a wheat, like a 10 or a 4. So yeah, but I connect the roads, extend the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Hit our 5, which is huge. It's like our
I mean, I guess the road. I wasn't even thinking about the road play, but that definitely makes sense because like you don't want to steal road or army to extend the game, and I mean, road is like you get it that turn, so I guess it makes sense.
yeah. I think there's some sense to it. I think he takes it right back soon, but he just needs one more road. But at least he couldn't win immediately.
Yeah, and then you make him waste resources on the road, and he can't. Maybe that prevents him from taking development cards, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. I think for him, if he had a development card, he probably should try to buy one, but I don't think he did. Like, this is his hand here. Yeah, he can't buy one. So.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is that he can't do both, right? You're at least like stretching him out.
Yeah, exactly. Because still waiting on our. We hit 2 5s, which is our best roll. There isn't really a one great roll for us. Maybe it was time to block the 3 and hope that rolls, or I guess a 6 here would be good too. But I got a pretty stuck hand, so I 4-1 the wheat and pop another VP.
No way.
Yeah. So, all of a sudden it's like if he can not buy a knight and we can get a knight and take army and he doesn't build I think we're still pretty far back. Like, he's one more road and he takes road back, so.
Yeah, it's real funny how like every VP is like frustrating, but that is like at the end of the day 3 points. You're like.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like early VPs are bad. The later it gets, it's like okay, maybe it could be a good thing. I don't know. So yeah, I'm all of a sudden, I'm shaking. It's exciting. And here I do extend the road because I think he connects for 7, 8,
11, no?
11. Yeah. So I don't know. I think we were talking about like padding our hands and stuff, and the ore and wheat being the important materials, and they still are. But here I'm just one knight off locking army. And we took army, so if I could squeeze out 2 more points here. Yeah.
This is completely crazy. Already, and there's still a bunch of game left. Like, there's been so many ups and downs. Like, you were ahead at one point, then he was at 14 out of nowhere, and now you're back to having road and army. I mean, he's probably gonna take road, but still, like, you're there.
No, exactly. I mean, it's still, from this point, it's hard to actually pick who you think is ahead. I think if he takes road back, he's at, let's say he's got 2 VPs and a knight or something. He's at 10, 12. I would be at 11. I still think he's a bit ahead because he's got like 2 cities to my 1. Yeah. But I'm back in it now, like fully locked in. I think there's.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think the road materials are starting to become valuable too. Yeah. So that's the first thing. He needs 2 roads, and then if he plays a knight, and so I'll have 0 cards after he steals my 1 sheep, and then if he rolls a 7, he doesn't get any cards, and that's a 2-card swing. So I think that's like a pattern that you pick up on is going to 0 cards is great if he rolls a 7, but going to 1 card is also good if he has a knight.
Interesting.
Yeah, so here he plays his knight. See, he rolls. Now I have 0 cards. If he rolls a 7, then that's big, but he doesn't. So, we make the right play. It doesn't always pay off. So he ports for an ore, buys a dev, and yeah, if he got a knight here, it's looking really bad because that means he locked up army.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I just gotta pray he didn't. But then again, I mean, what devs are left? Apart, I have the second Yop. I think there might be another road builder, but in the mono.
I think there's only been 1 so far.
So now, yeah, he's basically flips a knight for 14. Army's locked. Road, he needs 3 more roads to lock it. I need 4. I have the mono, but I think, I feel like it got away from me. Like I needed to pull a knight there.
Yeah, for us to work out.
Yeah. So I don't love this mono. It's not like the worst, but it's not that good. But I do pull the knight, which is, obviously there was just 1 knight in the deck, so we knew that. But yeah, and I extend road, which, we need to. So I need to drop cities, settlements, and build 2 more roads. He just needs 3 roads to lock it. And I know he has a knight as well, which he plays and rolls a 6.
Yeah, there goes army.
Yeah. So he's at, what is he at? He's at a 12 without road, and he'd be at 14 with road. So he's still ahead. I need to drop 2 more roads.
You need to lock that road ASAP, no?
Yeah.
So it's actually still like pretty even at this point, because if you lock road, then he has army, and then he's 1 point ahead, and then you guys just need to build it out.
Yeah, I think the struggle for me is that he has 2 cities, so he can still drop a settlement, whereas I need like
city first. Yeah,
I think I need 3 cities, or I would need like at least 2 more probably to build it out. Yeah, so he's got a lot of cards though. Like I'm super worried. Look at his hand. He's yeah. Luckily the brick is blocked, but yeah, we roll a 2, which is okay, but it helps him with his city as well. So yeah, he heads to the port. I guess it makes sense. Like he thinks if the 9 rolls, he could port that for the city, whereas the wheat port, he does make a lot of wheat, but unless he has like a ton of it, he's gonna need a couple of wheat to city as well. So I think 3 to 1 makes sense. So I roll a 7, and at this point, I have to block the 3. Like we need upside, we need unblocked, we need 3s to hit while he is blocked. That's our.
It's all going back to the 3s again. That's so funny. We're back to the beginning.
Yeah, the 6 block doesn't make sense anymore. He doesn't need sheep. There's no more devs, so he might need like 1 to settle, but he doesn't need 2. And this is our one last Hail Mary back, and we hit it. Yeah.
Oh, let's go! Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, I still don't believe.
Right on time, right on cue.
So yeah, it's amazing. So he's got to be a little scared, but obviously he just needs 2 roads, so like an 8 here, and then we hit another 3.
Wow.
Yeah, back to back.
Wild.
No, it's
that's wild.
Yeah.
Wow, that's completely crazy. That was like, wow, that's completely crazy. This game is actually wild. Like, there's just been so many ups and downs. Then he just needed the 2. Wow, and then the 2. I mean, it kind of balances out because he did get a couple 3s at the beginning where you were blocked that were like huge for his momentum, but like still, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm shaking at this point. I'm trying to calm down, figure out what to do, because I could 4 to 1 or for a road to lock road, but I think the 3s, like that's it. We rolled 2. You know, they can't roll too much anymore.
Done.
Yeah. So I think, and I know we need 2 cities to close it out. So we need to take a risk here and hope his 8 doesn't roll. And I port.
No, that's completely valid though, because you're not gonna get any more 3s, and if you are gonna win anyway, you're gonna have to build 2 cities. So like you have to keep that ore, even if like, because this is like, sure, you maybe lock road momentarily, but you're gonna have to get those cities.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta take a risk, and this is the moment. So I port down for a wheat and city 6, 5, 12, because now if 6 hits, that is a road. So it's just a question of what rolls first, 6 or 8, or 6 or 11. I guess I don't know what his hand is. He needs 2 roads. Yeah, he needs an 8. Yeah, but it's 12-12 right now. So if I can just build a road, and yeah, we hit our 6, and he didn't get it.
Yeah. I can see the road.
Yeah, and we hit another 6, so it's 3, 3, 6, 6. I don't get greedy here, I think, because 5 would be the.
You could get another city, but like it's probably time to close it out.
And here I panic, or I don't know, I'm shaking, so I think I misclicked or something. I accidentally poured a sheep, which it's not the worst thing because we will need sheep to settle, but it was obviously a big mistake. So then I luckily can still port down for a brick and extend.
Yeah, wow.
I don't hate it. Obviously it's not ideal, but yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, and then we hit our money roll, which is the 5. So he's got to be close too. Like even though road is gone, he can still like road settle, and city. And I still need to settle, city, settle. So I think at this point it's kind of a toss up. Look at his hand. He's got a big decision here. It's like a little stuck. Probably 4 to 1 for a. I don't know what I'd do here because an 8 gives him the bricks he needs to settle, road settle, because you need 3 bricks for that. So maybe porting down for an ore is not crazy, but I think taking the settle is also like valid. So let's see what he does. Yeah, he makes an ore. Yeah, that's really smart. Okay. Yeah, so he needs an 8 to settle, road settle, and then he's like. Just needs the city. I guess he'd need the city first though, because he'd be at 5 settles. But yeah, for me, I've got this huge hand. I'm ready to city. An 8 for me is also good because I need like multiple settles. And
a 7 would just be heartbreaking.
Yeah, no. But the way I've been rolling, of course we hit our 8.
Yeah, these last orbits have been crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think for him, he's close too, but I gotta get my city here. I think we do the 10 because now we need 2 wheats for our 2 settlements, so I think a 10 roll would be big as well. And for him, this is his hand now. He still gets to roll here, so I don't know if he has winning rolls, but he's got to be close. It's a 4. So there's a case for like road settling the wheat in order to port that down for a city this turn. Like road settle, he'd have 4 wheat, port 2 of them for the city, but 3 to 1 is also.
Okay. The road settle to the wheat makes the most. Isn't that the only way you can get? That's the only way you can get 2 points
Yeah, but in his defense, I'm not sure he needs to get. He can't win this turn, and he's got 2 rolls afterwards if it comes back to him.
Yeah, that's fair. So because you could also not port anything.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it's a tough call. I think if he does it, he's got a wood, brick, sheep, and a wood, brick, sheep in hand. So yeah. So he takes his settle. He ports the bricks for the city. So yeah, that's a play as well.
Yeah, I forgot about the brick port.
So now he needs an 8 to win, and he needs me not to win.
Wow.
This is us. We need a 5 or 10, I guess. Yeah, to double settle. So here I'm shaking because I know, like, with his ports and stuff, if I don't get it here, he probably gets it. But we hit it. Of course we did.
That's crazy. Wow, these last orbits were like, you should have bought a lottery ticket in this last orbit. That was wild.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was. Wow. It's crazy because I've played like thousands of 1v1s. Like I've played since season 5, and I don't think I've had a game that was this exciting or this lucky as well. So to have it happen.
This had everything because it's so interesting to watch you guys play both like pretty close to optimal. Like maybe you should have built on the city on the 6-5-12 instead of the 8-3-4, but still, like, they're even playing so good. There were so many points where it like went from you winning at the beginning, having a bit of a lead, to then like he blocks your 3, gets a couple 3s that you don't, and then he gets ahead. At one point he was at 14, then you somehow got army, first road, with just so many ups and downs, and then at this last point it was just all down to luck, and you did get pretty lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I want to thank everybody that, I play a lot on ranked, but I primarily play in like leagues on Discord and stuff. I've made so many friends to like talk strategy with, so just want to thank all of them.